Chapter 10 Heed, Michelle's Perspective. Agent I opened the door so we could see Agent R better. Then Agent I and I stared at her. She was shaking in fear. Stepping forward, I picked up her mask and kneeled in front of her. What happened? How did she get in? Did you signal for help? She tried taking a few deep breaths, attempting to speak, but nothing came out.
Why exactly did you leave your youngest member alone in base?
Agent A asked. I didn't expect her to be attacked in a secret base, I admitted. Please give Jagwerye a call. I'm going to attempt to calm Agent R now. He nodded and walked a little ways away. I grabbed Agent R's hand. Slow down your breathing. Then, try and explain what happened. She took a shaky, deep breath. Whispering, she told me, She took the rest of the crystals. She knows where the rest are. I stared at Agent R. Why would the Invisible Huntress need that many crystals?
Good news.
Agent A said behind us.
Jagwerye was worried. He was coming to this base anyway. She should be here any minute now.
Great to hear. Huntress took the power crystals from Agent R, I admitted, tying Agent R's mask around her face. Oh, and for now, you did not learn Agent R's identity.
The lips are sealed.
We heard the hatch open, then within moments, Jagwerye was standing in the doorway. Agent I, Agent M, please step aside. The two of us stepped aside back against the wall. Jagwerye kneeled down in front of Agent R. She grabbed Agent R's hand lightly. Go slow and explain to me what happened. Agent R stared into Jagwerye's patient stare, then took a deep breath. The Invisible Huntress knows my identity. My father's death may have been an accident. She took the crystals. She knows where the rest are. Did she tell you why she needs the crystals? Jagwerye questioned. Stronger arrows. She thinks there's another superimmortal. Lypye was right. The Invisible Huntress is a superimmortal. I noticed the shock on Jagwerye's face. I noticed a bruise forming on Agent R's arm. She's only a teenage mortal, alone with a superimmortal. There's one more thing, Agent R breathed. She told me there's a storm coming and that all of our teams, including yours, better be ready. It was a warning, not a threat. She said she's not an enemy. Jagwerye stayed quiet for a while. Thank you for your explanation. Lypye will be here shortly with Pantherye. When they get here, I will have you get changed, then I will walk you home. Agent R lunged forward and cried, hugging Jagwerye. She hugged Agent R back, patting her back. Agent I am thinking of moving the females to your base starting tomorrow. If the Invisible Huntress comes back, I wish to confront her about scaring the youngest member of the team. We heard the sound of the hatch opening, followed by Lypye and Pantherye coming into view. Sorry, Jagwerye. Lypye started. After Jazz called off of work, she really wanted to get Kelly this sparkly fairy puzzle as a surprise. It is fine, Jagwerye sighed. The Invisible Huntress broke into the base, stole the crystals, and scared Agent R. I will let the two of you run the meeting while I walk Agent R home. We watched Agent R and Jagwerye leave the base. There's an area in the barn that will open up and let us change. Agent R's invention. Pantherye stared at the entrance, confused. There was no sign of a break-in. How did she get in? Miss Lypye was right, I admitted. The Invisible Huntress is a superimmortal. Lypye and Pantherye stared at me, speechless. I shrunk back, feeling nervous. Agent I spoke up.
Agent M and I were working together to compile a list of all the gods and all known powers. The goddess of matter, the goddess of the supernatural, have the ability to go through solid objects.
Lypye crossed her arms nervously. Any other useful information? Maybe, I admitted. I spread a large piece of paper across the table with our list of powers. Do you remember the god of mentality? Isn't he the one that's locked up in the god world prison because his split personality was out of control? Lypye asked. I nodded. We were thinking, what if the Invisible Huntress has the same problem? Pantherye stared at me curiously. What are you saying? I took a deep breath. I'm saying that the cat-human behind the mask might not even realize they're the Invisible Huntress. Lypye looked back and forth between Agent I and I. You two might be onto something. It's very plausible, Pantherye stated. Super immortals tend to be insane and very unpredictable. We've also seen her using my powers on the bank cams, Lypye pointed out.
The Invisible Huntress might be onto something as well.
Agent I pointed out.
Why would she need stronger arrows?
To kill a god, Lypye suggested. If that were the case, she would just use her powers to kill a god, Pantherye pointed out.
She needs it to knock out a supermodel, or multiple.
Agent I told us. Pantherye smirked. And this is why they're the leaders. They strategize and think alike. I felt proud, but also on edge. The Invisible Huntress broke in without any sign of forced entry, hurt and traumatized Agent R, then claimed to not be an enemy. I was also able to tell that Jagwerye and Pantherye were scared. Lypye was harder to read, but it was clear as day that she was nervous. Whatever is coming, I hope we're prepared. Chapter 11, Spells, Pantherye's Perspective. Leaving Agent I and Agent M, I had gone back to the God World. Walking into the Syara team's room, I noticed Hyena sitting in front of the cameras.
Meeting run a little late?
He asked. Put in a note that we need a replacement signal button for Rachel Beatrice, I commanded. He did what I asked, then turned to face me, crossing his arms.
What happened?
The Invisible Huntress broke into the Mortal Syara team's female base. Agent R was alone in the base at the time, I admitted.
Poor kid.
He mumbled.
Is she okay?
Just a bit bruised and very traumatized. She'll be okay. Jagwerye's walking her home now, I told him.
How did she even find the base?
He asked. Apparently, Lypye was right. That girl's a super immortal. I sighed. There's a list of powers she could have used. One thing's for certain. She was looking specifically for Agent R, the creator of the bow, to make stronger arrows.
What is she planning?
Hyena pondered. Agent I talked to me on the way out. The Invisible Huntress doesn't see herself as an enemy. The death of Agent R's father was an accident.
With the arrows, is she planning on a war?
Hyena questioned. Yeah, but I don't think with the God World. She knows something we don't, I stated. He sighed and stood up.
How have all these demigods flown under our radar? Obviously, Kelly's a demigod. The Invisible Huntress is a supermodel, meaning she was born a demigod that gave birth to a demigod. You'd think with all the commotion, at least one god would come forward.
Jasmine is currently the highest suspect, I told him.
She's confirmed immortal.
Hyena exclaimed. Is she? We've met her mother. Who's her father? I asked.
She admittedly said he walked out before she was born.
Hyena paused.
Look, if you're concerned, look into her lifeline.
I need to find it. The lifelines are in no particular order. It could take a few days, I admitted.
Then take it. If Jasmine really is another super immortal, we need to know before it's too late.
He told me. Do you think Lypye would know? I asked.
Even if she did, do you think she would tell another god?
He questioned. I paused for a moment. Jasmine was out shopping for Kelly when the Invisible Huntress attacked the base. They're not the same cat. He studied my face.
What else?
Agent I and Agent M have this working theory that the cat human behind the mask may not even realize they're the Invisible Huntress. He crossed his arms.
Multiple personalities? That's a stretch.
It's a start, I stated. We heard the door to the room open. Looking over, I saw Jagwerye slowly walk through. Agent R is home. We had to switch the story around, but her mother cannot know she is on the Mortal Syara team. She sighed. I hate lying to her. She is super nice. I walked over and patted her back. It's for a good cause. We won't tell Mom. She smiled lightly. Thanks. Did you fill Hyena in? I nodded. He crossed his arms.
How do you expect to beat a supermortal?
We need to plan ahead. The two mortal teams will be sharing the male base until further notice. This could be an advantage. Agent R and Agent D could share ideas to make the perfect weapons, Jagwerye told him.
What about us?
Hyena asked. Perhaps we are getting paranoid for no reason, Jagwerye suggested. I stared at her, uncertain. It was clear that she didn't believe what she was saying. Hyena could tell it too. Whatever's coming, we need to be ready. We also need to make sure Mom keeps an eye on the portal spell, I pointed out. I will bring it up with her. Jagwerye reassured.